Hey high levelers, Rayo Daniel here, and I'm excited to bring this sort of updated video to you. This video, what we're going to be doing is covering communities inside of Highlevel, all of the updates and everything else up to this particular point. This video is being created in September 2024, so up to this particular level, I'm going to show you what's available, what's not available, what's working, what's not working, and just all the ins and outs of communities up to this particular point, because I have created a couple of videos in the past regarding communities, memberships, and by now those videos are going to be outdated if people watch it. And I have had people reach out to me about, hey, it'd be great if you created an updated communities video, because this is really important. This is a great new feature that people want to use, and I'm not quite sure how to implement it, how to use it, how to get it set up, and things like that. So right now, we've got a couple different things we're going to be talking about here, and I have made a list to make sure I stay on point, because we are going to be talking about a lot of information. This is going to be a little bit of a longer video to go over all the ins and outs, and I'm going to actually try to make it as interactive as possible with you to show you how a user would log in and look at it and so forth, and how the user would interact with your community. So let's get to it. Okay, so right now, this is just for me. It's just right now, I want to go over these things. I want to make sure I don't forget about them. Each one of these has a lot of different information that I at least want to share with you up to this particular point. And hey, one of the things, just to let you know off the top of your head, email notifications are here. Stay tuned for the video here. I'm going to go over that a little bit here. But finally, everybody's big requests about getting emails from the communities outside of the portal are finally here. So I'm going to show you that a little bit later on, and again, what's working and not working. All right, so let's right now go over the portal and the website. So right now, before we can actually start diving in and getting all the things inside the portal and setting up the community and everything else, we have to do some of the back end work. Now, some of the work that you're going to have to do, first of all, needs to be done inside of the GoHighlevel platform. Then once it's created inside of the GoHighlevel platform, all the other remaining items have to be done and customized inside the portal. So you actually have to log in to your portal, your website, whatever you want to call it, and do it from there. Let's take a look at some of those settings. Right now, what we're going to end up doing here is I'm using one of my demo accounts here to do this demo. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to start out by first just looking at how the URL or the web access to our portal is set up. So this is one of the things that you're going to have to decide off the top of your head, what URL, and again, it's not really white labeling, but what domain, what subdomain do you want to use to actually send people to your training? And this is going to be a big one, because you only get one per sub account here. So just be careful, and then changing that URL can cause a lot of problems later, because if everybody has, this is your main training URL that you go to, that everybody goes to access their coursework and communities and things like that, it's going to be a problem if you change that URL and then getting that out to everybody. So just be careful about that. So one of the things I want to sit back and start is on the left hand side, we're going to go into memberships. This is where the part of the communities area lies. Now, here's one of the things I really wish that Highlevel would do. I really wish they would put all of their community stuff together, but they actually have it in two separate places that you're going to have to configure some of these settings, and we're going to take a look at both of them. So right now, this is the area that you need to go into in order to create your custom domain and get your domain set up for your... So right now, we're going to go to communities, and notice we have groups. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. We're going to go to settings. So here in the settings area, you already have a default domain. If you come over here and click on this, copied, this is, if you paste, this is a URL that will work or can work for your portal. Now, I'm getting ahead of myself on some of these things, but right now I'm already logged in, but if I were to log back out, this is the screen that I would see. So right now we're going to go step by step through this particular process, but this URL does work, but it's ugly. It's using clientclub.net, and you really want to change this to a URL that you control, and it's just nice and neat. So right now what I want to do is hop back over here, and right above me here, fill in this custom domain. Now, one of the things you need to understand is Highlevel is connected to 3 domain providers automatically: Google, GoDaddy, and Cloudflare. Those are the 3. If you have your DNS system set up with one of those 3, then this process becomes much more simplified. If you don't, then you have to manually go into your provider, whoever it is, and add DNS records like you used to do in the old way, the original way. Highlevel is trying to make this a little bit easier with configuring domains, but if you're not in one of those 3 that I just mentioned, then you will have to manually create records. It could take longer to get this set up, and this video is not going to cover that. So right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to call mine portal. That's just me. You can call it training. You can call it whatever you want. But I'm actually going to create a subdomain of my digiglobalagency.com that I have registered. So right now, I'm going to just go to portal.digiglobalagency.com. That's going to be a subdomain under my main DigiGlobal Agency, which I already have registered, and it's working. So all of this can be public. And then I'm just going to click on the Add Domain button. Now here we actually see this is where we've got the domain here. I'm going to click continue, but if you're not a part of one of those 3 domain providers, you will have to create this add record manually. You'll have to go through and create this CNAME record for this portal with this value in the system manually. But right now I'm going to click continue. It's going to go out and set up my domain. I'm already logged into Cloudflare, which if you need to log into your GoDaddy, your Cloudflare already, that way you don't have to log in and this part becomes a lot easier. Notice that it already created my record for me. I'm just going to authorize this, and then Highlevel is going to go through and set this DNS record up. It's going to get it configured, and one of the 3 providers I told you about, those are the quickest to get the DNS out there and to get their changes propagated fast. Some of these other domain providers they're slow and they take a little bit longer, but right now this does take just a little bit to get set up, but there it is. That's all it took to get our custom domain set up. Now what I want to do here is go through, I'm going to close this tab here now that we got that done. I'm going to go portal.digiglobalagency.com. Now this right here, again, should kick back and get logged into our portal. Right now, I am already logged in here, but what I want to do is log back out. And that's one of the nice things is once you're already logged in for your clients that you can sit back and they can just log right back in and don't have to worry about this stuff. So come on. So there you go. I'm just trying to get back to the main training screen. So one of the things I want to cover now that we've got the initial URL set up, that's one of the first steps. So that's great. That's where we get this stuff done. But as we take a look here, we notice that there's some customizations here. I've got some branding, if you will, that is taken care of, and I want to show you how that works. So here, if you come in the other area, again, I said there were 2 areas inside of here where you configure things. This is the first area. And again, we're going to come back to groups. I haven't forgotten about that. I'm trying to get just a raw portal setup, configured branding, and things like that first. And then we're going to sit back and work on the inside. So right now we need to come over to sites and notice that we have this client portal. We have a dashboard and we have settings. Again, we have another settings area. Now, if you click on this domain setup here, that's going to take you right back to where we just were. Okay, so you can access all of them from here, but the domain setup is actually in the membership area. So here in the branding area, this is where we want to sit back and take a look at it. So right now we've got the portal name, which is you can create whatever name you want. Notice that we got DigiGlobal Training. Notice that this right here is where it would go, DigiGlobal Training. Here we've got just our portal description. Notice that this is where, if we blow this up, this right here is where that gets displayed. So I want to show you just how things work, and you don't have to have anything here. You do have to have a name for your portal, but you don't have to have anything here if you don't want to. Now, these brand colors, you can pick whatever color you want to. I've got purple and blue. If we take a look here, these particular colors are going to be important because they define, I'm going to blow out here, they define this little login button. Notice the login screen here. These are going to be, the login button colors are going to be your primary colors that you actually select here. So again, you can customize the way that looks by choosing the particular brand color. Now the fave icon, if you ever know, that's it. If you take a look here with this DigiGlobal Training, this little blue square right here, this is a fave icon. This is where it would look like if you want to put one in here. I don't have one created. If you want to use one, you can configure that. Just click here, upload it, and you're good to go. Right now, what I do want to figure is this portal image. The portal image is this big gray with the little infinity one right here. This is DigiGlobal Agency. That's what this portal image is. Right now, if we were to sit back and let's just say if we wanted to remove this, and we've got our banner images here. We can remove all of these things, save. And hopefully right now, I think there is a little bit of a delay sometimes if we refresh this. Yeah, sometimes there is a delay in the caching for this to actually show you the colors. But basically, here's where you can actually implement the fave icon, the portal image, the banner image, and all of this stuff. You just need to look at how it gets displayed. I don't really like the way me personally, the way this looks, but I put it in there just to show you. Sometimes you might not want to put that in there. That is this logo here. So if you don't want to have the logo, which is going to mess up and put an image right here, you might not want to configure a logo. You might just want to make a big banner image here in the back that covers this entire area. And you just have to understand that when you do that, please pay attention here to the dimensions. So right now, your portal image, this is the image that's in the background here. This right here is 1920 by 26. This right here, make sure you get the maximum on that one. That way the image looks really good behind the scenes. But this is where you would do all your branding. And I would suggest just getting the images created. You can do it in Canva. You can have them made. But make it look right. Get everything set up and configure it. Refresh the page and do things like that. Let me see if it's updated yet. No. But you want to make sure the URL is working, the branding's working, and things like that, because this is the upfront presentation for your communities area when everybody logs in for all your coursework, training, and things like that, and even potentially your affiliates. If you do affiliates, this could be their portal that they log into as well. So right now, let's go ahead and hop back in. This is where you would configure all the branding. Once this is done and you get everything set up, One of the things you can do here, I do want to go into the advanced. There is some area if you want to do some custom JavaScript on the page or CSS. I don't have any examples of that, but one of the things I do want to sit back and make note of here is this right here, header code. Now, if you actually use Google Analytics, if you don't know, it's a good way. Google offers it for free. You just go create your Gmail account and go create a Google Analytics account. You can actually create a piece of code. Once you sign up your website, you're actually going to be using a piece of web code. You're going to copy and paste that code here into the header code. And what that's going to do, that's now going to start tracking everybody that hits this URL, the portal.digiglobalagency.com or whatever it is that you guys have set up here. This is how you're going to be able to keep track of it from an analytics perspective to say, how many people came to my site last month? How many visits am I getting? Things like that. All of that kind of free analytics can be done, but typically, if you're doing this inside of a funnel or a website, there's already a header area inside of the settings for each funnel to put this code. But for your client portal, here's where you put that code at in the header code for Google Analytics. So I just wanted to show you that as well. So next we're going to go back and take a look at the main page. We're going to come into the apps permissions page. So right now, this is going to be very important. This right here is basically allows you to set up what is it that you want people inside of your community to have access to. Now, there are 4 main parts that you can have access to: communities, courses, affiliates, and billing and subscription. Okay, so these are 4 areas that can be populated inside of your portal. And I'm going to take a look at this and we're going to see how this looks. But notice I do not have the affiliate checked. Okay, because in this particular case, I'm not using affiliates, so I don't want to have any kind of an affiliate button or anything related to affiliates available inside my portal. So unchecking this basically removes any tabs, any buttons, or any way for people to access the affiliate side of the portal within the portal. Now, this is good and bad. Keep in mind, you're only allowed 1 portal per sub account here. Okay, 1 portal for everything. 1 portal for your courses, 1 portal for your training, 1 portal for your communities. Everything all has to be in 1 area. That's just the way it was designed. So whenever you do this, if you want to have access to communities and courses, and of course the new billing and subscription, which again we'll take a look at, that's super awesome. Then you'll sit back and you'll have to make sure you check what you want and uncheck what you don't want. Now, again, warning here, this is applied to everyone. Everything inside your portal, this is going to happen. So if you take off courses, then anything that you have configured in memberships or anything like that through the portal, you will not be able to access any of your online courses through the portal. So that's something to keep in mind. So right now, one of the other cool things here is that this default page means once you have these other buttons selected, you can choose what landing page you want people to land on whenever they log into the portal. Do you want them to go to their home page, which it could be cool? And I'm going to choose that actually, but you can actually have them go right into communities as their default page whenever they log in. Or if you're more of a course creator and the courses are more important than anything, then you can have them land directly into the courses area. Okay, so right now I'm just going to choose home and I'm just going to click save settings. But this app, once you configure these app permissions, this is what you need to do in order to get these areas, and you can turn them on and off at will. It's very easy to turn them off and on, and nothing needs to be restarted. Nothing needs to be redone after you do that. It's pretty straightforward and easy to do. Now, the email settings. This has got some good news and bad news here, okay? Don't beat me up. Don't be a hater to me. Right now, email settings, this is where everybody's been waiting for. Email settings for inside of the portal. So let's take a look at this. Communities. And I'm going to blow this up a little bit here. Send an email invite whenever a member is added. So whenever somebody joins the group, an invite email. Memberships. Whenever somebody gets approved or declined, an email gets related to that. And even general emails. These are where people really wanted it. New comment on a post. Tagged in post. Tagged in post at everyone. Tagged in comment. Tagged in... All of these things are the things that everybody really wanted to before. The notifications were really just inside the portal. Inside the notifications area. That's the only notifications that you got. But here now, these general emails are available. Likewise, whenever new courses are added. So if you ever added another course, you don't have to send that email out manually. Everybody gets a notification of what the new course is, what it is, and can easily go and take a look at it. So that's really cool. And this is done automatically to everybody. And then if anybody's role changes, so if you go from an admin to non-admin or member editor, whatever, that stuff gets sent out as well. Now, that's the good news. The good news is this configuration area is here. Now the bad news, it doesn't work right now. So right now, I had to contact support about this. Right now, this is something that I believe is going to be included in the launch in the October 2024 timeframe. Whenever you reach the sort of high-level summit, they like to release all these releases and these updates at the time of the summit. So right now, I imagine that this will be available here within the next 30 days, that all of these emails will go out and you'll start having these capabilities to get configured inside of your portal, which is woo! Everybody really wanted it, so congratulations, that is here. But again, it sucks that it does not work yet. The emails are not going out. Now, one other note that I want to sit back and note about, Please note that all emails sent via client portal, including child apps, are charged emails. Okay, you don't get these emails for free. The emails cost money. Again, if your clients are using this and you've got the slider on the SaaS configurator and you're charging them so much per email, every time that email goes out, they're being charged that for their community. So it is going to be an extra cost for that. You're going to start seeing those costs rise for the emails being sent out, and they're being sent out automatically. So that might want to make people rethink what to redo on this, or what to select and what not to select. So anyway, I did want to share that with you. That's pretty cool. And let's go back to settings here. So right now, those are really all the settings that we have with getting the portal set up, the architecture, and getting this part done here, where there we go. So now this thing finally updated here, and now we got the brand colors behind it. For this one, we got DigiGlobal Training. So this is what the basic portal would look like here if we wanted to. And again, if we want to go back into branding, I'm not sure if this would be very quick. We can click on the portal image, and where is it at? So we'll do that one, upload this one, click save. And again, I think for that, I do want this to be branded, but I think it does take caching a little bit of time for it to catch up. One of the things that that was really it with regards to getting the portal set up and configured. Now, if we actually get logged in here. So right now, notice that this right here is the home page. Okay, this is the home page for the home page that we selected. Notice we could have had to go to communities, or we could have had to go to courses initially. But what I want to show you here is that, remember, if you click on these little three dots, we have communities and courses. Notice that we don't have affiliates here. Okay, we don't show the affiliates in here. Now, what I want to do is just come over here real quick to this, just show you. If I want to click the affiliates and click Save Settings, then I can come back up in here, and if I hit refresh on the page, I should be able to come. If I hit refresh here, if it actually goes out and refreshes. So I may have to wait a little bit for it, but it was working in full time for me here. But I don't see the affiliates here. But typically, it should be pretty close to real time here. That you should be able to go into those apps and make a choice and so forth. Right now, some of the things again, this is the home page that I wanted to let you know about. We're going to be taking a look at this part later. One of the things I really want to show you is going into the communities area. Okay. This right here is where some of the other configuration can be done inside of if you want to deal with communities. It's going to be creating groups and channels. Now, there are some other settings, and I'm going to go over all of this. So it's going to make this a little bit longer, but there's groups, which are your high-level containers that you have. And notice here that I've got one for client support community, and then I've got one for Digi Agency clients only. Maybe I just have one for my clients that they can log into, and then one for support community that is open to anybody. So again, I'm just trying to show you some examples of what you can get created here. So now what we want to do is we want to go in and actually create some of these groups. So now we have to go back inside of Highlevel, because we cannot create groups inside the portal. Creating groups requires to be done outside of the portal through Highlevel, and then once the groups are created, then we have to come back inside the community to configure those groups. That's just the way it is. So here we're going to sit back and come up to Client Portal. We're going to go back into our memberships area, communities, and then we're going to go to groups. So this is where we configure our groups. Now, I want to sit back and explain some of the things regarding groups and the group setup here. Number one, you can obviously create groups. There's not a limit that I know about on creating the number of groups, but groups, once created, cannot be deleted. Please remember that. You cannot delete a group. You can only make a group inactive. Okay, so there's active groups and inactive groups. So if you look up here, notice that you have a filter selection for active and inactive. Now, for the examples of this video, I've created one that's inactive. That's this DGA mastermind group. But one of the things I want to make sure you understand is whenever you make a group inactive, you can turn it back into active again. But again, you cannot delete it. And once you make it inactive, no one, even members of that group, will be able to access that group inside the client portal, because it disappears, it vanishes, and it's no longer available in the group selection. That right there is just a couple things that I want to explain to you and help you understand. Now, a couple of other things here. We're going to create a group and see what's created with this. But this little area right here that we're taking a look at here, I'm going to try to blow this up. This little area that's with the mouse, this little square, this is the cover banner area when we start getting into the branding part of it. And then this is a logo, where the logo goes. But if you don't want to do any of that stuff, this is just the default, the kind of gradient that you get. And this is the image that you get on all the groups that get created. And again, you're allowed to brand it, create it, and customize it, which is pretty cool. And we will take a look at those settings here shortly. Right now, to create a group is pretty straightforward. I'm not going to do any of that here. You would just give it a group name. You would need to give it a group slug. If you don't know what that is, a group slug is like a URL, a unique URL for that. You would give it a description, give your group, what is your group about, what does it do, things like that. And then here's some of the ways that you can customize it. You can have a fave icon, a cover image, and a logo. So that cover image was that little gradient color square, and then the logo is that little circular icon that we saw before. And then the fave icon is that little icon at the top of the tab on your browser that gets displayed. So that right there is how it is to create a group. Pretty straightforward. So just give it a group a name, give it a logo, but just be careful you don't start creating too many of them that you're not going to use, because you can go in and change the name of groups, repurpose it, and things like that, but you can't, again, delete the groups, at least not yet. Once you have the groups created, now you can go inside of your community or your portal area and get them configured. So let's take a look at that. So when you log in here, you're going to go into if you come in here and go to your communities area. Now I'm an admin logged in here, so this is what it looks like. I just want to let you know I've got another email address here, another user that I'm going to walk you through creating it. If somebody created an account on your portal and stuff like that, what would it look like, and like what would a user see versus an admin see? This would kind of give you an idea. I'm trying to be a little bit more interactive here to help you understand how things are going to work from a client perspective as well as from an admin looking at this. So again, we've got a lot of different areas to take a look at here, so it's pretty cool. But right now, as far as the groups goes, if you click on the groups, here you see these particular groups. If I click on client support group, notice over to the right, I get just a basic view. If you take a look here, you will see that there is the name of the group, public group, so it's public. Again, public. You can have private groups as well. So public and private groups are available. Public groups, anybody can join. Private groups have to have an invite or be assigned or things like that in order for that people to be invited to that particular group. Now, just to let you know, this Digi Agency Clients Only group, this is a private group. So I'm going to show you about that a little bit later. But again, we have a little description helping our clients, the number of members, our logo. Here's some of the settings. You can invite people. And then this nice little leaderboard. That's going to be a pretty cool thing. I first saw this actually in the school communities when I joined some of the school communities a long time ago. I noticed there were leaderboards and stuff, and it's cool now that those kinds of things are inside of Highlevel, and I'm going to explain to you how they work and how you can use them as well. So again, a lot of information that's going to be in this that I'm excited to share with you. So right now, this right here is a way for you as the person logged in to go to groups and switch between different groups. That's what this is here for. Now, when you're in a particular group, you need to come over here and click on channels. Now, when you have channels, you actually have a home page, but then right now, the channels are just a capability of breaking out communication to very specific topics inside of your group that you may have so that you can keep conversations, posts, and things like that to specific sections, specific, again, channels here without having to have everybody just communicate in one big pile and all the posts go into the home page. That can become just a huge mess to try to scroll down and search and find things and stuff like that. And it could just be a total mess. So right now, creating channels is just a great way to help identify what topics of communication within that group really need to take place and happen. So we're going to take a look at some of that. We're also going to take a look at the discussion. We've got some of these other learning members and leaderboard tabs. So again, a lot of information here to talk about. But right now, I want to talk about the group settings just as a whole. Okay, before we go in and configure channels and look at all that kind of stuff, let's come over here and click on the settings button for the group. So again, we create the group here in Highlevel. Now we can come over here and we can actually customize it and do more in the settings area. So here, if you ever wanted to repurpose a group's name, you can change the group name. That's all done. You can change the URL if you want to here, or the slug, as you called it, change the description. Here's where you can actually make a group public, private, okay? And then you can also go back if you want it accessible from the switcher. So what does that mean? That means this little area over here where it says groups, where we saw the list of groups over here to the left. If you want that accessible in that for people to be able to see it, or do you want them to have a URL to go directly to it and save it? Sometimes you might want to not have things visible, but still present inside the portal, but that requires you to have the exact URL. Like you would need to send this URL and have this bookmarked in order to go directly into it, because there's no links that's going to be able to take you directly there because you've removed it from the list. That's up to you if you want to do that. It just creates more complications as far as I'm concerned. But again, public and private, this is where you can adjust those settings. Subscriptions. Here's the great thing about these new communities area. You can have communities that are free, and then you can also have communities that require payment to be a part of a particular group. So right now, I am going to go over the pricing structure here, but just in a different group. I'm going to leave this group free, which means if people can join my portal, they can join my community, and I'm going to show you how that works, and they can even join this group all without being charged anything. Okay, so you're welcoming people in to join your group, no different than if you had a Facebook group and people want to join your Facebook group. Okay, you can do that. So I'm going to leave it as free here, but you can charge. And I'm just going to click on this button to show you. Here's the price, again, currency, the type, recurring or one-time payment. That's up to you. You can have a trial day. Here's the one thing that's cool. One of the updates now have weekly billing. So before we only had monthly and annually, now you can actually have weekly billing on this if you want to, $5 a week. $10 a week. If you have a short form course and people only stay in there for a month, Maybe you do a higher value on a weekly basis to keep them in there. And then you do have the ability to turn test mode on to test like the Stripe card connection for this. So anyway, I'm going to zoom back out here. Just wanted to show you what that was like. Next, we're going to come over here to branding. Now, we could create the branding when we created the group, but this is a place where you can also come in and change that as well. Now, I wanted to show you what this looks like. So right now, I do have a cover. So I'm going to come over here and do a support banner and upload it. Oh, it doesn't look like it took. So we got that, and I want to put this logo here. So right now, here's what we've got. And if you take a look at the advanced settings here, notice if you wanted to, this is where you, again, have header code. So if you really want to track, you like down, because again, this group has, it's on a different tab. Remember that URL? It was a unique URL. You can actually have Google Analytics track how many people go into your group if you wanted to. And again, this is where you would put that Google Analytics tracking code right here. Right now, I've updated this, so I'm going to click Save. Now, I am not going to change the group type here. I'm just going to click Confirm. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to come back into the settings, but what I want to do is come back and just show you. Notice that we now have this banner that changed. It changed to client support. Notice that we have this nice little client support logo up in here. We don't have the default. And if we come back in here and hopefully highlight real quick this particular page, inside of here, we should notice that the group now is updated as well. We have the new branding and everything else. And then this is how it looks once you move into the actual community. It does look customized. So you just give it a little taste of personality, branding and customizing it and stuff there. And it probably looks a lot better than having the same things over and over here with the same gradient and default icon and things like that. So I just wanted to show you what that looks like. So here what we're going to do is we were at branding. I show you how to do all the branding. Themes, this is pretty cool. I love this too, the ability to sit back and create themes, light, dark. If you want to have that, I like light myself here. I'm going to go back and choose this nice little bright orange color. But if you wanted to, you can sit back and change. You can make it a default, or you can come in here to a custom theme and create your custom colors if you wanted to for this particular group. And keep in mind, this is for this group. So as you go from one group to another group, that might be a great way to change the theme, the color, so that you know visually when you look at it that you are changing groups and you're in a different group because it doesn't have the same theme to it. So right now that's that. If you wanted to, this is where you can come in and add membership questions. This right here would be a great way to sit back, and if you wanted to add a question very similar like you can to a Facebook group, text, single select or multiple select options here. So you can put questions and things like that in there. You do have to add one question before you can turn this on, but then those questions get asked whenever somebody joins this particular group. So right now, I just want to sit back and do a single select here, and I want to just say, are you a client of, if I can type, Digi Agency? So that's it. I'm just going to put that in there, and I'm just going to put the input. I don't want them to type anything in. I want them to be able to choose because I don't want them to mistype something like that. So I'm just going to do yes or no. And now I'm just going to click save. And now we have a question. And now I'm going to come turn that membership question on. And again, I'm just going to save things just because it's nice to save. And just that way all my settings don't go to waste. Gamification and rewards. Right now, this is I'm going to wait on this to talk about this a little bit later when I cover the leaderboard, because that's where we kind of talk about it, and I don't want to jump the gun on that when I'm trying to take things step by step, but I will come back and cover the gamification and rewards area here. I don't want to not miss that, but I do want to show you that a little bit later on. So here, some of the other things you can do if you do have promotional links, if you want to promote anything else inside of your group, I do want to show you where that's at again. So right now, I actually, one of the things like I personally sell is I have a cold email outreach snapshot. So right now, if these people are using this, a cold email outreach snapshot, and right now I can just put in a link to that and get that typed in. Now, right now, if you wanted to, you could make this link private, which means that you'd have to be a member of the group to see it. If you put that in there, private members are only in the groups, or you can make it public. And I'm going to click on that add link, and once we're done here, I'm going to show you where that link is, just to make sure that you understand where these links are going to be located at. And then report content. If you do have any kind of content that's inside of here that you want to report, just this is where people will be like, hey, this is spam, or this is whatever. This is where that information would show up. I'm going to click save, and those right there are just the settings for the group. Now, when you click save, this box does not go away. You do have to exit out of here. Now, right now, if we take a look here, notice that we have a theme. We have this little orangey theme pop up here. And if I go to groups and come over here to a different group, notice that the theme changes. So that kind of lets me know I'm not in the same group anymore. And I pop back in here, I have this nice color, the brand here, and everything looks right for the area I'm supposed to be in. Now, one of the things I do want to sit back and show you is over here. This is where that cold email outreach snapshot, if you take a look here, and then if people click on it, it does open up in another tab and things like that. So, but this is where your links will show up. here. And again, if this would be something where it was private, then you could not see this link until you logged in and you were a member of this particular group. Then you'd be able to see it. But ultimately, this is just the settings for the groups themselves, how you get things configured, and so forth. So let's move over here to the left bar and kind of talk about channels for a little bit here. So right now, if you wanted to, these are some of the channels that are up here. Now notice that this home is the default. It has nothing over here, and I want to show you. If you click on products, notice that all of these other channels that you can configure have a little settings wheel to the right. So if you click on that, it gives you the option to come in here and edit this. So you can edit the name if you wanted to, and you can even come in here. This is one of the new updates, is you can actually change emoji icons. So you can customize that icon that was over here before. You could not customize that. That was a new recent thing. But this right here gives you some information, shows you who the members, and then come in here and show you some of the settings. You can change this to a private channel. Again, it's a public group, but a private channel. So if you wanted to have that, think about your group structure here, because this right here really does create a complicated way of being able to set up your community. So you can have public and private groups. You can have public and private channels inside of the group. You see what I'm saying? And then you can have groups that are free and groups that are paid for and subscribed. These are all things that you need to just help understand. Have a private channel if it's something that only a select few people need to be able to have access to. But is having a private channel really something that you need, or should you just have a private group for those people to communicate with? So this is one of those things where it's up to you, the designer of your community, to sit back and design what it is that you want or you need. Now, if you don't want the channel anymore, you just come here and delete channel. Now, keep in mind, you can only delete the channels that you create. You cannot delete the home channel because that's the main area. But I can have just one home area if I want to, or I can come in here and start creating additional channels. And if we click add channel, all we get is the basic information that we've already seen. We get the name, description, we get an icon we get to pick from, we can make it private, and then we can create the channel. So again, creating channels are pretty straightforward, pretty easy, and admins are allowed to do that. Anyway, this is how you could do that. Now what I want to do is move from this area more up to the tabs. Right now, we've already talked about groups. How do you find groups? How do you go from one group to another group? How do you look at channels, the different types of channels, how to customize a channel inside of there. So now what we're going to do is start looking at some of these other things, which I think are pretty cool. So we've got discussion. This is where all your posts and things like that. So if I want to come in here, create a new post, what's your title, what's on your mind, some of these cool things, add an image, add video, attachment. This is really looking a lot more like school, and I don't mean to make that sound in a bad way or anything like that. This is really coming to be a nice interface, very robust, and the type of things that you can include on here. So this is pretty nice. I'm not going to create a post right now, but when you create the post, one of the things that you can select here, I know I was going to do this, is this drop down. So right now, looks like I'm only able to post something in sales because I'm going to confirm this. I'm going to cancel it because I'm in the sales area when I'm posting. But if I'm in home and I post this right here, then if you take a look, notice that I can choose here between products and sales. And because I'm an admin, I get the add channel button. But just it depends upon where you're at here, whether you're at the home level, if I'm at the products channel and I create on the post, and I'm going to create something inside of the products group, and notice that I can't change it because I'm inside of the products channel when I do that. So these are all things that you just need to keep in mind. But I just want to show you, pretty rich. Add image, video, attachment, any of this stuff that you can get. And creating very good posts, very interactive, dynamic posts are really going to lead you toward a great interaction within your community, with people interacting, replying, and then this kind of goes back to the leaderboard, which I'll get to here in a little bit. But we're going to talk about learning right now. Learning. Now, this learning is going to be different than your courses area, okay? So right now, if you take a look here, we can go from here to courses. And notice that we got our affiliates showing up here. That little option that we chose, it finally decided to show up. So just took a little bit, but here's some basic courses that I have configured already. Onboarding training for Highlevel, landlord starter kit, and some Section 8 education for those people. I think I was doing a real estate demo and some stuff like that. But let's just say that these are the courses that we have available. And these courses, again, are created through the membership area of Highlevel. Now, here's where I'm going to have to sit back. A lot of people don't understand memberships. So I have a whole other video on memberships on my YouTube channel. Feel free to take a look at it. But I do want to sit back and take just a few minutes, not a long time, a few minutes to pop back over to Highlevel and show you about how you get these created. So look at this: onboarding training, landlord starter kit, and then the Section 8. These are all three here. So here what we need to do is come under in the membership area on the left-hand side. Right now we're still in the groups area, but we need to come to courses. Now, I need to explain courses for a little bit. Inside of courses, this is where you can have any of the products, digital training courses that you actually have configured. This is where you need to come put them. Now, everything ultimately gets created at the lowest level. The lowest level in this area is a product. Try to be very particular. Have one product, be very distinct of what's in that particular product. It could be a lead magnet, it could be free training, it could be a course or a seminar or something, but that is one product. If you have another product, create a different product for it. That way you still have multiple products. So if we come in here and we look at the products that we have listed here, notice that we have the onboarding training, we have this affiliate marketing, which we didn't see. Section 8, we have this one. So we have 4 ultimately courses included here. Okay. So these are these are products that we have. Now, if we wanted to, you can create a product, but please look at my other video for how to do that and how to manage all this other stuff. But what I want to say is you have to create a product first. And when you create the product, there's areas that you go into. If you look at the onboarding training, like we've got an image, we've got launchpad, phone system, domain setup. So all of this is a category, and a lot of these are just lessons in here. So you set the product up first, and then you have to come and set up your offer. Okay, here's very important. Offers are where everything happens inside of Highlevel. So with an offer, you can sell an offer through a funnel. You can sell an offer through a website. Again, you can sell an offer through the portal that we're going to take a look at here, but you can't sell a product. Okay? You're not selling a product directly. In order to sell something, you have to create an offer for it. Now that offer could be free or it could be paid. It could be either one of those. But you have to create an offer, and then inside that offer, you have to say what products you want to be included with that offer. This is why I mentioned earlier that you should have each product created individually. It's each unique item in there. That way, if you want to create an offer with 2 products in there, you can just select those 2 products, and that's what's a part of that offer. But you can also create another offer that has those same 2 products and maybe another product in it. So right now, this is how this works. So I just want to quickly show you. Let's take a look at this onboarding course. If we come over here and click edit to edit this particular offer. Right now, we've got just the offer link. We've got a description. We can have it published or draft. I'm publishing this, which means it's available. Right now, it's an offer pricing. This is where, if you take a look at editing, this is a $97. I have a $97 one-time payment for this. This is how it's set up. It could be free. So it could be coming over here and you could say free. I'm not going to, but this is just a one-time payment of $97 is how this is set up. And if you look here, notice this is including products. If you look at this, I've got the onboarding course product. This is an offer, but this is the onboarding course product. I can choose any other product that I have in my list to be included with this offer if I wanted to. Okay? So this is where I mention this because this is the basis for what we're going to look at in the Learning tab inside of the Communities portal. And it does have it's a little bit different. And I want to show you that because notice here, this right here is a one-time payment of $97 for the onboarding course. Okay? So there's that. Now, if I wanted to, I can come back up in here. And I think if I take a look at this one, this offer pricing is $297, so that's not the one I was looking for. I think one of these I had set up for free. No, that's $997. But anyway, affiliate training course. Yeah, this is one of the ones I have set up for a free offer here. This right here again is set up for free, but I want to show you how you can get them set up here inside of Highlevel, and then how do you actually utilize them in the community. I took a few minutes for that, but now what I want to do is pop back over into this area to take a look at, if we go back to, into our communities area. So here we're going to go in our Learning tab. Now this is an admin has to come in and do this. If you're not an admin, you're not going to get any of these things. You're just going to be able to see the coursework and so forth. So I'm going to click on Add Course. And when I do that, what you're going to do is you're going to start seeing these 4 courses. Now, these are the offers that we already have set up inside of the membership area. So when you have the offer, this is so right now I'm just going to be able to do the affiliate course. Now, one of the things about the affiliate course, if you remember, the affiliate course I had set up for free as an offer inside of Highlevel. So if I have a funnel, I can go through and sell that for free and things like that, or give that away as an opt-in. But here, if I wanted to, I can actually set up a subscription type for this one here. So I can make it free, I can make it reoccurring, or I can make it a one-time payment. So I'm going to make it a one-time payment. I'm just going to do $47. So $47, I'm going to have a trial period here that I see, and then right now I can sit back and add a course. So when I do that, now notice that inside of here, I have an affiliate course where somebody has to pay $47 to go in and purchase this. This right here is one way that you can sit back and add some of the training that you already have in your system. Keep in mind, in order to add the learning here, notice that I don't get any other options. I have to create the membership products and offers first inside of the Highlevel sub-account, and then they become available in the client portal. Very important. You can't create it default here. It uses the membership there to pull these offers and pull them in. So that's where the learning is. And if you wanted to, we can come in here and edit this. I'm just going to edit this and come in and just make this free since it was free already. And I'm just going to update the course. So right now we just see it's free and people can go in and do that. But what I want to do is sit back and add one more. Let me do this onboarding course. I think the description type was $19. I think we had a $97 payment. But this one we could do for $47 if you're a member of our community. We could sell it to you for $47. Otherwise, we'd have to sell it to you for $97 if you bought it on our website. Going to go ahead and click on Add Course. And now that we've got this, we've got two things that we can actually have here. And I'm going to leave these here, and I'm going to show you when I finish the training here. I'm going to log in with my sort of fake user, and we're going to take a look and see what this looks like inside your portal once you get it set up. And by the way, I would absolutely definitely do this to test this and make sure that everything works whenever you're doing this. So right now, the members area, not really that great. I mean, you can sit back and see some of the members that are here, search for members. But other than that, you're just looking at the members group that you have here. And then if we look, we got the leaderboard. So now what we're going to do is hop back and take a look at this. This is pretty cool. This does look very similar to the one I remember seeing in school that had a leaderboard and things like this. Now, what is a leaderboard? What does this mean? How does this work? And things like that. This is why I wanted to wait on the gamification and the rewards and stuff like that, because I want to go through and set that up here and walk through what that process is. Right now, inside of this, the leaderboard really is a way to promote more interactions within your community, to help people be able to comment on posts, to respond to posts, to interact with posts, because you get points whenever you do that. Now, when you go through as a content creator inside of your community, creating a post doesn't give you a point. Okay, you don't get a point or you don't get any reward for creating just a post. But what you do get is if you create a good post that people interact with. What if you share a video that people can use, or you share a lead magnet, an attachment? We saw that we can have a post with these videos, images, attachments. If you share something of value to the community, then people can go through and like it, comment on your post and things like that. When you get people to interact with your post, that's when you get points. Okay, that's how the point system works. Now, what I want to do is inside here, notice my little cute little auto AI bot. I've been using that image a lot everywhere. But we're going to click on this little info button right here. This is going to help us out a lot here. So I'm going to click on this, and now I'm going to blow this up a bit. So points and level. You earn 1 point whenever a member likes your post or comments. So 1 like, 1 point. So really what this does is encourage people to create really good posts where people can interact, comment, or maybe you ask an open-ended question. This is really good because this is the kind of things as an admin that you want to do inside of your Facebook group and even inside of your school communities to get people to interact with you. Okay, and when people interact with you, then you get points for doing that. So what it does, it promotes you for creating posts, which is what you want. You want people to be engaging in your community. So it encourages people to create posts and to create good posts where people are going to interact with. Because when they do that, you get points. That's how you go up and down and you become a part of the leaderboard. And that's when people see their name up there on the leaderboard for the person with the highest amount of posts or the most engaging for the group, people are more engaged to keep creating more and more content. So if you take a look here, these are the points that are here by default. As far as I know, you cannot change this. There's no level of where you can sit back and change any of these point values to make these different. This is the way it is. Sorry. Everybody starts out at level 1. 5 points, you go to level 2. So you can see it's going to be pretty easy to go from level 1, 2, 3, 4, and even up to 5. But once you start getting to 5, getting to level 6, 515, that's 515 more from here. That's 300 or 400 more likes and comments on your post. That's a lot, to get up to level 6. And then level 7, and then by the time you get to level 9, you're at 33,015 points. That's super crazy, right? That's a lot. I mean, you have to be a really good poster and really engaging to get that many total. And all of this is cumulative, for all of your posts and things like that. If you delete your post, then I think you lose all those comments and likes and you lose points. So this is how the leaderboard works and how you as a person can go up from level 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So right now, if you wanted to, when you look inside the leaderboard, you can see the leaderboard for the last 7 days. They got the leaderboard for the last 30 days, and then the leaderboard for all time, from just the length of the community, who's been the biggest posters by far. Now, one of the things I want to do is I'm going to go back into the group settings here. One of the things you can control here is how these are numbered. Or, I'm sorry, not numbered, how they're labeled. So this is level 1, level 2. You don't have to call them that. Every level, you can give it a different name. You can give it, level 1 is newbie. Level 2 is stud. Level 3 is whatever. All the way up to level 9, which is like Supreme Master or something like that. You can call it. So people can actually get Supreme Master level if they get 33,000 comments. It's just a way to make it more fun, so you don't have to keep it as level 1, level 2. You can customize that, and I'm going to show you where you can do that at. Now, some of the other things that I want to tell you is that you can have rewards. Now, what is a reward? Obviously, we know what a reward is. It's something that you give person after you've accomplished a certain level or a certain task. Now, with a reward here, good and bad. Number 1, you can only have 3 rewards in your group. So you can only publish 3 of these, and that's just a limit that I read in the help documentation, just to let you know. But if you add a reward, right now, notice that it pops back up in here. We have gamification rewards. If you go to gamification, here's where you can go and edit the levels. Just come here, level 1, give it a different name. We might want to call that newbie, which is perfectly fine. Right now, that's just the way that we can call it. But then the rewards, let's just say we want to add a reward, and we're going to say Starbucks gift card. I don't know. If I can actually type here, you guys know I suck at typing. Received after you reached level 5. I don't know, just something like that. save it, and then we click save. Now, when we do that, it does update the group here. Let's take a look here. Now, notice that we have level 1, we have level 1 newbie. So right now we can sit back and customize that. That's a way for us to do that. And then over here to the left, we see that there's a Starbucks gift card. If we blow this up, Starbucks gift card. Ooh, we received this after you reach level 5. Now, a reward doesn't necessarily have to be physical here. You could reward them with training. So you could reward them with, inside of here, learning. Hey, if you reach level 6, you get this onboarding training for free. You don't have to pay $47 for it. Okay? And that's just simply, when somebody does this, you can give them access to the training. Now, here's the thing that sucks that I'm going to tell you about. These rewards, there's nothing tied to a certain level. So all of the rewards have to be done manually. So be careful about that. So everybody, whenever you do that, when they reach a certain level, you as the administrator, part of your support staff, somebody's going to have to see, have you reached level 5 for this one? Like with this one. Have you reached level 5? When you reach level 5, you can post in the group, hey, when you reach level 5, send an email to this particular person to let us know, and then we will send you a Starbucks gift card, or we will give you access to the onboarding training that you can have access to. So those are just different kinds of rewards that you can set up. But I think it's pretty cool that they have something like this inside here that at least promotes and encourages people to engage in the community. And all of that is built into each particular group that you have. So super awesome, super cool. So now if we just pop back in here, we've talked about a lot. So we've talked about all the different groups and things like that we actually have in here. But one of the things that I want to go into now is talk about the different types of groups. I do want to come over here to this group and go into the digital agency clients only. So now I can come in here because I am an admin. Now, if I do this, I'm going to come over here to settings. And what I want to do is come to subscriptions. Now here, if we take a look, this is a price of $97 a month. So this group costs each individual month. So keep in mind, I've got one portal, one community, but now I have multiple groups. And to be a part of some of these other groups, you have to pay a subscription every single month for. So we will take a look at that whenever I show you this user, how they're going to get logged in. I just have a few more things that I want to show you inside of the portal. Again, super cool that you can do, but I just want to do that. But this right here, I want to show you that this group is this, and if we have membership questions, we don't have any questions here, no rewards. We have the cold email outreach, I guess, set up there. But anyway, so we've got two groups, one of which is free, one of which is paid. We have everything that we need. If you want to sit back and invite members, you can click on the invite members, share the link to the person's name and email. Those are always something that you can do inside of here, and that's just a way to promote your community more and more. Now, this little bell notification up in here, again, this used to be the old way of people who needed to get notifications. The only way you got notified of a new post or somebody tags you or something like that is this notification button here, which again is still going to be there, but you're going to get the more powerful way of having an email sent whenever that new email feature probably goes live in the next 30 days or so. Going to be super cool. So as you can see, communities really have come a long way since the very beginning. They've been around for, I think, about a year now, something like that, but they've come a long way in that year. There are things that really didn't work right from the very beginning that were clunky that Highlevel fixed very quickly on this one. I praise, way to go Highlevel on this one, because now you can actually start building a community, having things like the leaderboard inside of your community to promote growth. You can do cool things like that, start charging people for it, start charging people for your courses. Notice we don't have any courses in this one. We have courses in the community one, this one, but we'll take a look at that here in just a minute. One of the last things I want to show you about is the profile area. This is another one that's really gotten popular if you want to click on here and edit your profile. So here, the profile information, now I can have my name, my title. This is a slug, little bio, your location, time zone, all that stuff can be done. But now you can have your social media information tied in here. You can have your certificates. If you do publish certificates, hey, you might finish, you've gotten to level 4, you might have a certificate for achieving level 4 that you publish and give to somebody. Now, I didn't really go over certificates here. If you wanted to, I believe it's here in this area that you can create a new certificate and things like that. You can use those if you want to. I'm just really not going to go over it in the training here. People haven't really expressed a big interest in there, although they are pretty cool if you want to use them as a way for just keeping motivation up inside your group. But one of the things I do want to come in here and show you is this billing and subscription. This is very important. So here, this is one of the main tabs that if you take a look, where is it at here? Sites, settings, and under app permissions, notice that billing and subscription is here. If I don't want that, I can uncheck it here. But now this is one of the nice things is that if you're charging people for courses, for subscription and things like that, where can they go to see where they're being billed at and where their invoices are at? Again, this is the billing and subscription area. So if I click on this one, every time I come in here though, every time, this is one of the things that is going to be the case here. Here, I'm going to move this over. So right now I do get an email. I'll pull that over here. So right now, this is an email that I get from Global Agency, and it has a code. Every time I go into billing a subscription, you will have to go and do this. Your clients will too. They will have to authenticate themselves for this. Right now, I'm going to put in 406099. And when I do that, now it comes back to the subscriptions. Notice that here are all the subscriptions I have if you've purchased any. I have had a problem with this wheel just constantly spinning. I don't know if this is a problem or something like that, but that's definitely an issue that I've noticed, is that this wheel keeps spinning. Now, I don't have any subscriptions yet for this one. Some of these other ones are invoices that I've generated from other, that's in the system, that I've done on other demos and things like that. And then any transactions, any of the things that you've bought, purchased, will be included in here. And it's all tied back to your email address that you have here. This email goes back to tying to all the invoices and purchases. Now you have access to that here in this particular portal. Pretty cool, I know, but all of that is inside of your profile. And the cool thing about it is you can come here and change your picture and things like that. This is the communities area that you have inside here. And notice that now that we've turned the affiliates on, we've got this affiliate earning link that we didn't have before. The billing and description could be right here. And then any of your other populated emails, posts, things like that can be done here. Now that we've done this, what I want to do is just take a minute, not log out, but just to switch over to an incognito window where we can go through and log in and see what this looks like. So here is the Digital Global Agency training. Notice it looks a little bit better since I don't have that purple logo right here. So it's just, you can't get rid of this. You have to have that there, but you don't have to have this. This Digital Global Marketing Agency is in the image. So right now, if you wanted to, you can continue with Google. That's another cool feature that wasn't included in the very beginning, that you can log in. You don't need to email and password. You can log in with your Google account. But if you do not have an account, then it will just basically say you don't have an account for this. So that right there is a problem. So right now, you can't come here and click sign up. So just because you have a portal, you can publish this and actually have people, if they're a new user or if they're returning, if they're a new user, they can click here to sign up. So I'm going to click here and sign up. So right now, my name is going to be John Smith. I know, very original. Don't make fun of me. So here, John Smith, what was it, 304-350-606. I'm going to do this and type in the email address, and then we'll give this guy just a password here so I can get logged in. Now, when I do that, I'm going to click sign up. Now, let's look at this and see what happens here. So whenever we do this, the very first thing that's going to happen, I'm going to pop back over here to emails. Hopefully here, this thing isn't going to take too long if I got the email address correctly when I signed up. But what it's going to do, it's going to sit back, and before you can actually get logged in here, this is going to be a way of preventing a lot of people from creating fake accounts and having robots do this kind of stuff, is to sit back and do this. So I'm not sure why. Typically, it's pretty fast on getting the email out for this one, but I don't really see it, but I'm curious if I mistyped this or not. So let me just give it just a minute here. Of course, on the live demos, these things never go right. I'm just going to sit back here and try to go back to this again. Click sign up. Not exactly sure what happened. So we'll just do John. Make sure that's right. John Smith, 314. I'm awful at typing. I may very well have mistyped it and just forgot about it. Yeah, I'm going to give it a password here. Got this. Make sure we got John's. That looks good, and click sign up. And like I said, whenever that happens, typically this goes pretty quick. I must have mistyped it. So we got this email pretty quick, 244619. So now we're actually getting the logging in as a user. If somebody were just to do this, how would they see your portal? So here we got welcome John Smith. Notice if we wanted to, we can have options for all these other things because we turn them on. Now, if I wanted to, I can sit back and click join a group. So let's go and see what that looks like. So now it's going to ask me to sit back and complete a profile. So I'm going to have to upload an image. I'm just going to, for lack of a better term, sit back and just use my AI bot image. I'm a cool person. Bio. So notice that you have to do this before you can move on. But now that we've done that, here's what we've got. We actually see some of these. Now notice this right here, this, again, bring this up, this cold email outreach link. Because I'm not a member of this group, this is a public link, so I see it. If this was a private link, then I would not see that here on this one. I would not see this link here until I join the group, and then only then would I see that particular link. Making a link private or not, that's the purpose of it. But as you come in here, you take a look, you can see some of these things, no post found. But let's go ahead and sit back, and let me go back to groups. If I went to groups and went to this group, now notice on this one here, because I'm not an admin, I'm a user, I can subscribe for I don't just join this group. I have to click on the subscribe for $97. This is when it pops up, asks me for my credit card, confirms payment, stuff like that. So cha-ching on that one. So you can have people that want to pay. If you want to have a mastermind group or a coaching group or something like that, where you're coaching people, they can do this. And you can even have coaching on a weekly basis. Remember, billing and subscription are one-time, reoccurring, monthly, or weekly that you can have this. But I've chose $97 a month, which is commit somebody to one particular month. So now I'm going to go back to the client support group, and I'm just going to click on join group. So now that I join group, notice we had a community question. Are you a client of Digital Global Agency? Yes or no? So notice that this is much easier than having a text box for somebody to type something in, because who knows what they're going to type. So this way I get an answer. I'm just going to click no and click submit. And now that I do this is, you look at this and now you get this pending membership that we see. Right now, this is what we've got so far. Let me go back here. Nope, we haven't gotten that particular email yet. Let's come back over here into the DigiGlobal Agency. Here we see we're back at the main page. I'm going to come over here to, I think we have 2 tabs open here. I'm just going to close one of them, close this guy to keep things tidy. Here, once we come back to this particular board, what we can sit back and do is if we look at getting those requests, if we look here at members, notice that we have active admins, contributors. Notice that we have a requested here. So this is where we have John Smith coming in. Keep in mind, if we take a look here, membership pending, because there's membership questions. You might want to know something before you approve this person to be a member. So here, if we wanted to do requested, we can simply click here and do, if we want to change the roles, we can change that. But here, we want to take a look at the membership answers. Are you a DigiGlobal agency? No. Here, we might just want to say decline if we want to, but instead of decline, we want to just come here and click approve. Right now that we've approved that particular person, if we come back over here, we might have to click the refresh on this one right here. But we should have a couple of things happen here. Number one, the pending's gone. We have access to the group now and start to do posts. I want to come back over here to the email. Notice that we have a couple of other things that popped in here that I want to sit back and show you. Here, there is this email. Every time somebody joins your particular group, they do get this particular email that's branded here with your particular logo or the default, if that's what it is. Unfortunately, this is one of the things that suck. You cannot customize this email template. Not yet. I did contact support about that, so none of these particular emails, and then none of the emails that are in the, let me pop back over here, in the client portal settings here, none of these emails right here, as far as I know, can be edited. Right now, this is a feature that's coming. They do have this area here for you to be able to select this. So here, once this happens, then you may not be able to control the emails that go out on this, which could suck, but we'll have to see how Highlevel handles that. You may be able to create a custom template. I don't know. But what I do know is that when you look at this screen right here, this up front is the only thing that you get, and you cannot customize it. So I'm sorry that sucks on that one here, but you also get this one for client commute approval. So right now, if you don't want to do that, if you don't want to have this approval setting on here, because that could be a pain in the butt to do. So right now, if you just want to come over here to settings, go back to your membership questions, and just turn that off. If you do that, and that way you don't ask these membership questions, they're allowed to just join directly. Then, as long as it's a public community, they can join, and they're not asked a question. You don't have to wait for approval or pending or any of that other kind of stuff. So hopefully that's beneficial to you. But now that we've got access, let's go ahead and take a look at what this particular person sees. So they can come in here, notice that they can do a post. Now, if this person were to do a post and sit back and tag somebody or tag everybody or just create a new post, then that email should be sent out to everybody in the community that just says, hey, there's a new post by this particular person. Keep in mind that could be very irritating. I'll just say that. If you're a member of a community and that community has hundreds and you're getting an email every time somebody sends stuff out, that can be a pain. So that's one of the things that I'm envisioning with this email could be a problem. I'd like to be able to see like all the emails grouped into daily or even daily or weekly sort of grouping email that goes out, so you don't get emails every post that somebody puts in there, things like that. You can get them on a daily or weekly basis. So coming into learning, one of the other things that's nice is I wanted to show you this right here because these we did set up. Notice that this onboarding training originally in the membership, I had that set for $97 is what that sold for in the offer, but I can reuse that same offer. And again, the offer really just lets me know what products I have available to. I can sell that cheaper inside my community as a benefit for buying it and joining my community. I can now sell my course or my other stuff cheaper, or even potentially give stuff away. Or even, again, offer something as a reward for once you reach a certain level, you get access to my course or this particular course. Okay, and you can easily just do that using giving them access to a specific offer inside of the context area, which we will take a look at here shortly. I'm not done. I still have super nuts and crazy. I told you this stuff is a long way to get this stuff set up, but I really want to have an in-depth video that showed you how things look like from the user perspective and to be able to set them up right. Right now, if we wanted to click learning, we could just simply click on open. This would actually then take us into the portal, into the courses area. And again, I think I had a problem with this where you almost have to click on it twice. I don't know why on this one, but now this takes you into the affiliate course. This is the same way that you would just take any other course. Now this course isn't populated. I don't have all the stuff worked out. These are just placeholders, but now they can go through the course, mark it as complete, move on. Now, here's one of the cool things about this. Because this training and learning is actually built into memberships, you can take full use of all the workflows and automations regarding memberships. If somebody finishes one course or finishes a particular lesson, you can have a workflow fire and do something when people interact and go through this particular course. If you have that level of workflow set up, you can still use that inside of your communities and it will still work. Let me go back here. And if I wanted to, if I want to click on this to go buy now, I can sit back and get this area over here where I can click on a button to buy the course, and it shows me as a one-time payment. If I want to come over here and move, sorry, I'm in the way here, but notice it's a $97 one-time payment here. If I click on buy course, then it pops up with the same kind of credit card. I can buy it, boom, cha-ching. At that particular point, you're making money from your communities, and now you start seeing payment. Because guess what, if you get a large community, if you've got this learning tab, you can offer several free things in here, but you can also have your flagship course in here, your $9.97 course and stuff like that, so people could take your free stuff, get value from it, and go, wow, I can get this. Oh, and by the way, here's one of the things. If you take this might be a way that you tie two things together, but if you buy this course, my $9.97 course, now you get access to the private channel inside the group. So remember I said these channels can be private. If you click on this, you can go through. Oh, I'm not an admin here. I need to come over here and edit it. But here, if I wanted to, I can come over to settings and change this to a private channel. And in the private channel, when somebody buys that, now I can sit back and add that particular person to this private channel. That now, because they bought my product, now they get access to this, to you on a private channel and not the public channel that everybody gets a comment on. So that might be a way that you can combine a couple of these things together. Hopefully you're in your mind to see how these things can work together. Now, hopefully you get a good idea. There's really nothing else I want to show you on this one here. I showed you the group that you can go to this one and you could buy it. You can't log in and look at any of the stuff over here because there's really nothing here. But one of the things I do want to sit back and help you understand is when you log into the portal, remember when John Smith created their account, this is one of the things that unfortunately Highlevel does not have a process for yet. And let me help you understand that. So I'm going to go into the contacts area. Now notice whenever John logged in, he did get a contact created. So we can open this up, and inside here we start seeing client support. Here's the email that went out, and here's the all the communication. So all that is here, perfect. Here, if you wanted to, I want to show you something else that's pretty cool too. Down here, there is now an addition, and I have a lot of other, this is a demo account, I have a lot of other stuff here, but I want to show you this. You now have a built-in community groups area. I think they're folders or something in here for the contact level. If you click on this, you can now see what groups at the contact level this person is a member of. Okay, so this is cool because now that we have access to that, now you can go in and do workflows and have if-then statements built upon if this person is a member of this community group, then do this, stuff like that. Okay, because now that thing is built into it. This is one of the things we did not have before. Pretty cool. This is a new release. I really do like this. Now, if we look at the course offers, notice if we click here, this is where if we wanted to, notice that we do not see the John Smith here does not, if we take a look at the offers, notice that these are all the offers we have before. I don't want to get you confused. John signing up here for the course inside of the group. So if we go to communities and he signed up for this learning, for this inside of affiliate course, this is the course inside of the community portal. So this really isn't the same as the group that we're talking about here because this course offerings are inside of the membership area. So again, I know it's a little bit confusing, but if you go to memberships, if that person purchased or you want them to have access to it in the community and even, again, outside of it, you can simply come here to course offerings and add that person to this particular course as well. So this is where, for instance, if they meet a certain reward and you reward them, hey, you get to level 5 or level 6, I'm going to give you my free course for free for being engaging in the community. So when they do that and you say, hey, when you reach level 6, just email the team here, and then once I go in and see that your leaderboard shows you at level 6, then I'm going to come into your contact record and add you to the onboarding course right there. Now that we have the onboarding course, at that particular point, now any of the workflows fire for adding a person to the course, all of that type of stuff happens automatically. All the workflows that you may already have set up for offers will continue to sit back, work, and fire. Now, some of the other things I want to sit back and show you here as well. Sorry, before I forget here, important note here. There's no way right now for you to tell that John Smith signed up through the client portal. Unfortunately, John's account got created here because he signed up through the client portal the way we saw in the video. But the problem is that when he gets logged in, it's just a new contact. There's no source. Nothing that you can configure here. If you take a look here, there's no contact source that it came from, nothing like that. There's no way for you to, in a sense, have a workflow to flag if John account got created through the portal. You can have people who get user accounts created in your sub account who you may not know about. They could just pop up and be a new user, but that's because they signed up through your portal. That is an issue or problem. But again, one of the things I want to explain and show you here real quick is people, if they're logging into your portal and they're not a part of any groups, then really they're not doing anything. Ultimately, if the example that we talked about, they're going to join a particular group, okay? One of the things they're going to do whenever they log into your community. Now, when that happens, then you can come into your automations, and I want to show you this. So I'm going to go through and here, second, create a new, start from scratch workflow. So you can come up here and add a trigger. Yes, I got that. Thank you. And if you come over here, I think it's just groups. So inside communities, you can say group access granted. If you come up here and select that and you go to like your filters, you can say group and just say which one is this, client support group. All those support groups, and that could be your trigger. You can't trigger a workflow when somebody creates the account on the portal, but if they join a particular group, then you can. This may be a great way for people who join your group through the open group, if it's a public group, for you to be able to keep track of them. And then when they do that, then you can sit back and add a tag them for community support or something like that. Or if they did join the other community group, if they did join the one that's paid, then maybe you send an email to your team saying, hey, we just got somebody that just paid to join this group. Then we'll do something else to onboard their accounts. So hopefully that helped go through. That's about all I had. Let me look here real quick. Portal settings, group, public, private, contact, the community group, new website, and then some of the workflows. So I think I got everything here. So I know this is a lot. The communities area is a big area, but hopefully I nailed all of the new benefits, the perks, all the new feature additions, things that are happening here. And I'm super excited about the new email notification that's going to be coming here, hopefully in about the next 30 days, because I really do think they're going to launch that at the summit when they meet in October. So guys, if you learned something from this, please help me out here. I really support and count on you guys. Hit the like button, leave me a comment here, because this means that this video is going to be put up higher, that YouTube is going to say, hey, this video has value. It's really informative to people that are really interested in GoHighlevel's community area, and hopefully will be one of the flagship videos on the actual platform, the YouTube platform that people watch when it comes to setting up their community. So guys, thanks so much. And if you have not, this is my little plug, if you have not joined Highlevel, please use my 30-day affiliate link. I do get support from that. They do pay me when you sign up. If you want to upgrade to the Agency Pro, please use my link below. I have a ton of bonuses, benefits, and things like that, including coaching, one-on-one access to me to help you out, like in situations like this. If you want to build a community, how would you be able to do that effectively and things like that? So please do that. Also, if you've not subscribed to my channel, please click on that subscribe button. Guys, thank you so much for your support, and you guys have a great day. Bye-bye.